Greg going.
Yeah.
Hey, is this how this thing works? Ape's not here. I don't really.
You got to mash the button. I told you that. Jeez.
Oh, hang on.
I thought you
hang
knew
on.
how to do this.
Are we?
Get your day started right. From our shack to yours, this is Coffee and Ham Radios. We are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Ham Radios. We're just gonna act like that didn't happen. I don't
What
know.
happened? Nothing happened.
What
I
happened?
didn't see
Nothing
nothing.
happened. I didn't see nothing.
Okay.
I didn't see nothing.
I heard somebody.
So the
talk.
boss is away today, and
Oh, that's your room.
I don't know. We're gonna kind of do what wherever the wind takes us.
The boss man.
The boss
Right.
man. How you doing this morning, Chuck?
Hey, I'm doing great. I got a video I'm launching today at 12 o'clock West Coast, so what, 2 o'clock Central?
Awesome. What's this
you know,
one?
You know how math goes on. What is this one on? Shoot.
Old man.
Radio.
Oh, it's
stuff.
on. Oh, it's on Hamstick antennas. I've got so many different projects going. It's Hamsticks on different ways of using Hamstick antennas. And I tell you guys, I was kind of impressed. I did a dipole setup with it. You know, 10 watts. I got into Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I got into Connecticut. So, and it's like the
On
guys
10?
like I can't on 10 watts, and
Dude, that's
the
awesome.
antenna was only like 10 to 12 feet max, because I was just putting it up for looking, just showing how to set it up type thing. It'll be an interesting video.
Excellent. Excellent. How you doing, Jim?
Awesome. Large and in charge, baby.
Jim, you are awesome.
Thank you. Just fabulous. Thrilled to be here. Good morning, everybody. How's it going?
It's going great. So the hatted folks
It's-
are on the top row, and the non-hatted folk are on the bottom row. So
Are we-
had to.
Is that? I feel triggered, man. Are you just calling me out because I don't have a
Targeted,
hat?
you mean?
You could
targeted?
go get a hat.
Ta-
You-
Targeted
you could,
or triggered?
You could, put on all the pieces of flair that are required for the show.
Just the required amount of flair. There we go.
There,
That better.
there you go. That's
Man,
much better.
The chat is flying there all of a sudden. I was trying to
See,
type.
now you get a top row seat. Chuck gets demoted.
Oh.
See, that's what happens when you put a hat on.
Well, when the guy that can carry this, the whole show is at the bottom here. So
That's
right.
right.
You're
Our anchor.
Atlas.
Our anchor.
Atlas
That's
holding
right.
us all up. So Don blames Jim, and I want to take a moment to actually blame Don for something. If you guys came into the show this morning, after the time that I pushed the button, there is a join link right below the video here where you can join the channel to show some support. And if you didn't come in at that point, refresh the browser and that join link will appear. And Don's the one that asked for that link. So thank you very much, Don, for that. And then while we're on the subject of supporting the show, you can also support the show through Buy Me a Coffee or through Super Chats. So we greatly appreciate all that help, and it all goes back into making the show that much better. So
You
wanna
should
thank
post the
everybody for being
Discord
here.
link on the top too, because Ape always does that. I mean,
Yeah, that takes more talent than I have.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
new
I
member,
mean-
Lionel, welcome. Let me
New
get
member.
that. I'll
Ooh,
tell you what,
members. We have
Jim,
members.
Jim, vamp for a moment, and I'll be right back with the link.
oh well, thank you, Lionel. That's awesome. Oh, plasma level. Is that a level up? Did plasma level up, or is that the first level? I don't know all your
First
levels.
level for plasma.
First level.
Okay.
So Don's saying
They
that
go in order.
Don's going back to my dipole thing, since we're going to waste some time here. He says 10 meter dipole works really good. What I found on those Hamsticks, that probably 20 and up works pretty good, because they're not as like when you go to 40 and 70. Actually, 40 was pretty wide. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't get the greatest. I mean, it was 1.5 or something like that, but it was pretty wide. 70 and 80 is like just a little narrow band part.
So-
But,
But that would probably be a function of the wavelength that you're trying to use it for, right? So that,
yeah, the length
so
of the
20 and
things
10
are
and down would work better, right?
20 up. I think
Or
works
20 and
better.
up. Yeah.
because you're not as short as you would be compared to a full quarter wave. I also do a quarter wave, so
Right.
you
Okay.
guys- so it's pretty. I didn't really test that one. I just showed how to set it up correctly, because
Skeeter.
I watched some setup that just
Skeeter,
trying to
thank you
get
very
things
much.
nice and straight, guys.
Kevin,
And
thank you very much.
WQ9F. Is that Kevin? That's Kevin.
That's Kevin.
I recognize his face.
Oh, Don.
My call sign was
just
vaguely familiar.
Watch the
with
video,
face.
Don.
It's like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Watch the video,
Awesome.
Don.
Yeah, that
So,
makes
big
sense.
shout out to all the new
that
members.
Higher bands would work better.
And I finally got my act together and put the link
Did
on
you
the
get
top of the chat. You can
You're
tell
awesome.
you can tell that Ape is the glue that holds this whole thing together.
He is.
He's like the force.
Well, he's
that
been
binds-
doing this. He's been doing this for like what, 60 years or something like that.
Yeah,
Hello,
exactly.
I'm Jim, KN4YCD, and you're watching Coffee and Ham Radio.
Jim can't remember the show he's on.
No, I was going to say temporarily
which
offline.
show
I'm like,
am I
wait,
on
I'm not
today?
temporarily offline.
Shoot, I come in here
Howdy,
and my
everybody.
camera was still on from who knows when.
Man, I keep forgetting to turn mine off, Chuck, and I need to because it closes the lens and puts the dust cover on.
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to burn out the magic or something if I don't quit that.
My
Well, I'm using
computer
it.
screams when my camera's on.
Does it?
Yeah.
Screams.
Yeah, it's
Pay
just
it more.
all fans to maximum.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's
Should
the
I-
Intel
I
I7 Turbo Boost mode.
Should I tell
Turbo.
about my experience?
Don?
Done. Thank you.
Oh, hey Don, thanks, man. I don't know if I should tell about my experience with my 991 or save that. Maybe I should
You
save
can
that.
you
What do
can
think?
tease it. I think you're doing a good job of teasing it.
Just tease it.
I'm gonna have a video out here pretty soon. It's gonna be pretty. Would you call that technical, Tio? It's gonna be kind of technical and kind of dangerous. It may work or it may not. Who knows? Just gonna
Is
say
it
that
more
much,
dangerous than getting you on D-Star? And you know I say that with love, Chuck. Is it more dangerous? than that?
dude. D-Star is just so complicated compared to the
They're all
Yaesu setup.
stupid
I
complicated.
don't disagree with you, buddy. I do not
I'm
disagree
like-
with you on that.
I've got to sign up just to use my radio
Thank you,
that
Plasma.
I paid $1,200 for. You know,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
You know what? And I don't tell you the truth. I don't use the Fusion either. So I do use C4 FM though, and we've got a guys. They call it the Drunken Sailor Net, or no, Drunken Sailor Night. Now, so what they do is they do 10 meter C4 FM, which the only radio you can really do that with is the 991.
Is the 991A? Yeah.
Well, you can do C4 FM on like the handhelds, but they do 2 meter and 70, right? So that's the only radio that Yaesu or anybody sells that can do other bands. And the reason they call it Drunken Sailor is that it's that digital sound stuff. You know, how
Awesome,
digital
T-Ray.
sounds.
Thank you. Yeah, and you know what? The solution to that is actually to turn your mic gain down. Jim and I worked that out a while back. And I sound
I
drunk
will-
when my mic gain's up high like that.
Well, I think you're still going to get some of the that weird sound, but you know what? That's a good place to experiment because I think the guys they're kind of local, and I may have to go to a vertical to do that. I'm not sure yet. I keep forgetting to tune in, and right now I got to do some work on that thing, like I was teasing earlier. But I will have us practice that. We'll play with our mic gains. I'll bring that up to the crew. And the guy that started or that named it was if you guys never watched the 2 Meter Crew, they do a lot of 2 meter stuff, and just check him out. He's the one that coined the phrase "drunken sailors" because he goes, "Man, it sounds like a bunch of drunken sailors in here." So we'll see.
Well, if you remember that first time that we did the D-Star via Wi-Fi on the 705 video,
That was
When we finally-
that was black magic, son.
we finally did get somebody on the air. They did sound really, really drunk.
Right.
And it had to do with their microphone settings more than their inebriation levels.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you said that because I'll bring that up to the group whenever I do catch it. Like I said, I may have to go to that's kind of like CB. And this area needed to do vertical versus, horizontal work. I was talking to guys close to me, and using a Yagi or something like that was less effective than using just a vertical for 11 meters for close end guys.
There's a lot of settings, and the mic gain, personally, I feel is the one I fool with the least. I think I set it on 50, and I never touch it again if it wasn't already on 50.
Right.
That was something the other day when I was talking to T.O. We were on 20 or 40. We actually made contact on 40 the other night, and I was using a different microphone. I was using my hand mic, and and he said something about my audio didn't sound as loud, and it's probably because the mic I usually use is similar to this one, and the settings are my radio is set up for that. It's not set up for the hand mic, so
Yep,
I
and it
probably
makes
was
a lot
not.
of
Probably it does, and I probably was not getting my
Yeah.
voice projected as well as usual.
Now,
the guys I
what were
talked
you
to at
using the other
Sandy-
night when I talked to you? When Monday
was
was
just-
that Monday night?
I was just using the hand mic.
Was that Monday night when we?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I've got I've got three of these mics, and I've actually modded one. I should do a thing on that. There's videos on it, but they're old, and I should do a mod. There's a modification to get just a little more sound out of the stock Yaesu mic,
Yeah,
and
there is.
it's super easy. It's just pull a resistor out, and I think
Now
that was all.
somebody did a whole bunch of stuff with Icom mics, and I want to say it was Bob Nagy.
That's
Nagy.
Bob Nagy, because I guess when the 7000 came out, the audio was not the greatest, and he did a bunch of fixes. But now he does fixes for almost every brand.
Right. Or well, and then we've got the whole Heil, because Bob Heil's got a whole empire built on radio
Yeah.
audio.
Yeah,
Now I think I don't know what Nagy's background is. Heil's an audio. He's an engineer of some sort.
Audio
I
wizard.
think- I don't.
He
Like,
may practitioner of the dark arts.
I'll tell you what, Nagy does some of the best. I mentioned it to a YouTuber one time, and he goes, "Well, he's got a really small channel." I go, "Yeah, but compared to maybe some people like Jason, with Josh or something, or Jason or something like that, but his quality of his videos and his in-depth reviews of stuff is better than most." That's all
Well,
I'm going to say.
And this, at the risk of hurting your feelings, the reason I have a 7610 is because of Nagy's review video.
Yeah,
When I
don't
was
care.
looking to upgrade radio, I'm messing with you. When I was looking to upgrade radios, I watched a lot of videos, and Nagy's review was, I mean, honestly, if you guys have never seen, go look on YouTube and look up Bob Nagy, and I can't remember his call sign, but he's got some reviews that are just awesome. And
And
I
I
mean,
know
they're
which-
really what a radio review should be. It's not shiny, click, click. Look, it makes sound. Because I've done
Right.
review videos, and I always feel inadequate about what I produce. I don't
And
think they're very good. But
I know which review you're talking about, and he really didn't pick the 7610 over the 101. He showed reasons why you might want one or the other.
yes,
And
yes.
and the one reason that I do like the Icon right now is that new software that you got. I mean, it is pretty cool.
That's right.
And it's cheap.
But it only
I mean,
works with the 7610 and a Mac. Ron Walensky, if you're in the chat,
Oh,
just saying. It doesn't work
you
with your
can't do it on
Commodore
iPad?
64 and your Yaesu.
iPad. Yeah.
or iPad.
Yeah.
No,
If it
Ron-
doesn't work with an
Ron
iPad,
and-
forget it.
Ron and his
He's making a joke, son.
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. Well,
Yeah,
So
it is
speaking-
awesome software. I love it.
Speaking of jokes, if you are a member of the Toads Discord, I dropped a link to today's show to join us on stream and chat with the fellers here inside of the Coffee and Ham Radio's room. And while we're on the subject of supporting the show, back to that topic that we kind of dropped a while ago, N9PIT Joe, thank you very much for the coffee. Joe dropped by in the middle of the week and just sent in some coffee love. So we much appreciate that, Joe. Thank you very much. And the mic gain topic that we've been talking about, if you turn your mic gain up, it doesn't make your audio louder on the other end. The exact same
Or
way that you
better.
run into digital modes with setting power levels, you'll run into that ALC when you turn your mic gain up too loud. You'll start to clip yourself because your microphone will be taking too much input from your voice and the radio can't transmit it. So the ALC will trim that down. So maybe a touch of ALC. In voice modes, you want to break that line ever so slightly every so often. Whereas in digital modes, you want almost no line at all. And
That's a very good explanation.
what Chuck and I did was I plugged in, I want to say it was my Zygu 6100, and I started playing with the
Oh, yeah.
microphone
Oh,
gain
my God.
settings. And you get to the point where, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, for example, 1 is quiet, 2 is a little bit louder, 3 is a little bit louder, 4 is great, 5 is overdriven, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 sound exactly the same as 5 because the ALC kicks in and trims it all out and solves the problem that you just intentionally created by turning it up past its limit. So
It's a bandwidth thing too, right?
yeah, you're
It's
running out of
driving
bandwidth.
me crazy.
Yeah.
What?
And so
Done.
what happens what happens is you run out of the ability to solve those the problems of I'm too quiet with increasing the microphone volume, and you kind of have to dial that back.
And I think it will increase your volume to a point, but then it gets to a point where it's too much.
Right.
And it starts breaking up. And when Tio when he first had his, I think when you turned your 6100 way up, and it was like, turn that thing down. That sounds terrible.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, you need to check your audio.
on DMR, there's a feature called Parrot where you can key up on Parrot. I want to say it's 9,000 or 99.99. I'm not 100% sure.
99.90.
99.90. So you key up on 99.90 and you say, this is Kilo Mike 9 Golf testing Parrot. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, KM9G clear. And then key off.
Oh, yeah.
And when you key off, it'll actually repeat back what you just said, like a parrot would, hence the name. We're really good at naming stuff here. Does D-Star have that same kind of feature?
D-Star and Yaesu both have that feature. It's kind of a function of the repeater or hotspot, but I know on my D74 here, there's a parrot function. One of the things I can do, and I can't remember the magic sauce to say it to put it in your D-Star, but there's a parrot available. Now I'm going through a hotspot here, so I don't know if it would be the same on a repeater or not. But Echo, thank you, Joe.
And so what you can do with that parrot or the echo or whatever Yaesu calls it is you can listen to how your own signal sounds, and you can make those changes, and you can verify that your hotspot's working or your DMR, D-Star, Fusion repeater's working. And then you can see how you sound. My DMR radio has an enhanced audio mode, which is kind of similar to mic gain. And it's pretty nice. It helps out. And then the 705 has an actual mic gain setting in it because it's I hate to use the term real radio, but it's not a handy talkie, so it has the extra room to have those extra features.
But not enough room for a tuner.
Kind of a real radio. Yeah, kind of.
Just saying. They put the gain in, but they couldn't put the tuner in. The tuner guy was out the day they were building that.
I saw AWA join the stream, but he didn't connect any audio or video. So, if you're going to join the stream, we welcome you here, but, please join 100%.
Yes.
Tim, if you were talking about the Mac software, that's the SDR control stuff. Tio and I did a stream on it last Monday night on Nuggets. And it works with iPad and Mac OS only. Not Wine, not Linux, not Symbian from 1978 on your cell phone.
Oh, that's also Nokia OS.
You can't take Linux and run your iPad off of that.
Right. No, Chuck Ron. And Ron's been giving me no end of grief about it. And it only works with 3 radios.
Which
the
Ron is
7610, the 9700, and the 705. So I have a 7610. My 2 compadres up yonder have 705s.
This is awesome. The 705 Mark II G. Nice.
Yeah.
It will have a tuner. Yeah. Don't get me started.
It would, Don, it probably works on a Hackintosh because a Hackintosh is running Mac OS and it's a Mac OS.
Yeah.
That guy
Don,
does
don't
make
feed
stuff.
Ron Walensky anymore, okay? Stop it.
Well, Hackintosh isn't running Windows.
Right, I know. It's running. Hackintosh. And my next Mac will be a Hackintosh, most likely.
My nephew built his own Macintosh or Apple computer when he was
Hackintosh
back in high school.
Nice.
That was kind of after they've been out for a while, but that guy does make the Flex setup also like that,
which I think is what
it's not just ICOM,
which is what Don is sassing about in the chat right now. And the Flex radio, Don's up there. And the Flex radio.
The Flex should be. I mean, the Flex should be an easy one to do since it's already.
Don's here, so you guys should have bingo real quick.
That's right.
Oh yeah, actually, I have to tell you, my new video coming out today.
Did you mention Moxon?
You will. Yeah, I did.
Of course.
Sorry, just for you. I didn't even say. I didn't even mention your name to you.
Don't have to.
For you. No,
I know.
It actually related to something that I show in the video, so that I've used it for. Don, so he runs a Hackintosh. He says, Nobody. I tried to get Joe Brett to. Says he doesn't have a shirt on. I was like, well, just put a shirt on.
Oh, okay. Put a shirt on,
But
please, because we don't want to see
Put
them
a shirt on.
Yes.
at all. Them
Reasonable
man
attire
things.
is required.
Yes.
Reasonable attire.
This is not like the Walmart in your hometown. We have a little higher standard.
I
Okay,
think
okay.
Joe
So let me
Brett has-
change that a bit though. I said reasonable attire, and I'm talking to a group of hams. So sorry, shirt
Sure.
and pants are required.
At least a shirt.
At least if you don't have pants on, don't stand up.
Right. Oh, my Lord. And if you haven't washed the dishes, aim the camera the other way so we don't.
Did you say washed?
I
think he did.
said wash the dishes. Yeah.
Wash,
Said
wash the dishes.
wash the dishes.
Did you
Wash
use soapy
the dishes.
water?
You know, I say
Soapy
the same
water for
stuff
that?
because my family's from the South, which I think is where that comes from. The Warsh with the R in it.
Actually, that comes from the Midwest. Is very. All my family is a Warsh.
Okay.
They're Warsh.
Arkansas, Oklahoma. Is that where I'm talking about?
people. Illinois. That's where I'm talking about. Northern Illinois.
Okay. Okay.
Will a wife beater work? Oh, Lord. Son.
Well, that's better.
As
than
long
no
as the
shirt.
coffee and blood stains are not visible on camera, it'll be fine.
Sorry. You look at my shirt. I got this at Arizona.
Oh, Quartz Fest. Yeah, nice.
Quartz Fest. You guys, if you want to do a free ham fest, basically, it's not like a regular ham fest. Actually, it is if you stick around. I've never stayed to the last day because they have like I think what's his name? Randy sold a bunch of stuff there this last year.
Now, and that's in Arizona. What time of year is that? What's the weather like
It's
when you're
January. It's
January,
like
yeah.
70s.
there? So it's cold,
70s. It's
No,
coolish.
70 degrees. It's not hot.
Yeah.
it's in
It
Arizona.
gets-
I mean, I was stationed in
70 to
Phoenix. That's
75.
south, isn't it? South of Phoenix.
yeah.
Where
I
is
think
that
so,
at?
yeah. Quartzsite. You know where Quartzsite is?
That's at? No.
North of what's the?
Quartz
Yuma?
Fest is
North
right
of
near
Yuma?
Quartzsite. Yeah.
I think it's
North of Yuma.
Yuma.
That was
Okay.
south of Yuma.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
it is
let's-
north. Yeah, Yuma's
I know where
north, you're right.
Tucson, Phoenix, Gila Bend, and Flagstaff are.
And speaking of Yuma, when you are done at Quartzsite, head up to Yuma to get the big
You
prize
went.
winnings. I did. Yuma Hamfest puts out a humongous. I mean, we're talking 5 digits worth of prize dollars worth of
Yeah.
radio
Wow.
equipment.
It's
There's
like 2
10
weeks later,
prizes.
right?
Yeah,
2
Is
weeks
that the
later
one
or
you
something
went
like
to?
it is. Yep. I mean, you can win a 7610 when you're out there.
that. I think it
That's
was a
awesome.
101, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had a 101. Yep.
Well, I mean, I understand they had to go with the second tier prices.
Oh, I don't know if they did have a 7610.
Chuck
They had a
Whip, right?
705 for sure. Yeah.
I don't know if they
I was
have
messing
a
with Chuck on that.
7610. Yeah, I
So
know what you're doing.
Dayton Hamvention's coming up, and ICOM is giving away a huge prize package. It's a 7851 plus external speaker, plus a 9700
Dang.
plus an external speaker, plus a 705, plus a backpack, plus a tuner, plus a mag loop antenna, all in one prize package. You're just gonna be set for most
Hold
of
that
the rest of your
portable-
ham life.
That's one package. That's one package.
One prize.
Why
You'll
not
have to
spread
buy a
that out?
separate seat for
That's-
that to
that's
fly home on
crazy.
the airplane.
Why not?
with.
Why wouldn't you spread that out to a bunch of people? Why?
I'm sure they'll have other prizes also, but I don't know. I
And
want to
you know-
win that.
You know
I mean,
who's going to win?
yeah,
that?
I'd love to win something. Is that crazy? Crazy expensive radio they sell,
The
Yes, the
7851.
7851.
like
yeah, that's
15 grand or something like that.
15
It's-
grand. Yeah.
Is it 15? I was thinking 5 or 8. I couldn't remember.
Oh,
It's high end. Okay, Don, just stop it. Just stop,
Yeah, that's true.
stop it.
I mean, what can you say to that, Jim?
I was going to buy a Flex, but I decided to get an Icom. So there you go.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Somebody had a Flex
Flex.
6400M listed on Facebook the other week for $1,600.
nice.
And he had no comments, and I couldn't comment. I couldn't do anything because I was like, I'm ready to throw away my money.
It was the
Come
M.
on, son. He said 6400M.
Yeah. So
And
if you
then
guys
the
don't know,
post
the M
disappeared.
is.
So I don't know if he was stolen or
Oh,
I don't know. Or his
tell you the
wife was
truth,
in his account trying to sell his stuff.
the 6400 is not a bad price when you start looking at 101s and 7610s.
It's in the same ballpark. It absolutely is.
It's actually cheaper, I think, isn't it?
Not not after you buy the tuner and the other stuff that you inevitably want to get with the Flex that makes it flexy.
I have tuners, man. I got a really good tuner.
Well,
I
I
got
mean,
a
they
2K
got
tuner.
they got the integrated stuff kind of deal.
Right,
I don't
right.
remember
I
all the
know what you're
details
saying.
on it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I got a 2,000 watt Palstar here, so I don't
Wow.
really use auto tuners, tell you the truth, much. Only portable. I see a reason for portable. But I was taught by Gary,
Wow.
and he's like, you don't trust him.
I'm gonna have to watch used gear on MTC from now on. 2600 for a 101D
Yeah.
is a deal.
Yeah. And FYI, the 7610 I bought at MTC,
Mhm.
and I think this is a used one I bought from MTC. So I got some money off, and MTC does not charge sales tax unless you live in Texas.
Oh, wow. 'Cause
So
I know
do
they're
with that
supposed to
what
if
you will.
They're supposed to if you send it to California now.
Right.
California wants
Well,
all the
I-
taxes.
I
Yeah.
think they're supposed to if they send it to other states, but I didn't explain that to them. And I have told the Alabama Department of Revenue that I purchased it, and we're all
All square. Yep. So LB0FI just joined the chat, and Ape hasn't given me permission to give this away yet, but it did arrive safe and sound, Mr. LB0FI. Thank you
Look at
very much.
that.
This is the dipole
cool-
frame of the
cool
do-it-yourself dipole kit, blue and yellow. That'll look good in the yard.
Oh, I wonder why I did those colors.
That's what they had at the store that day.
That's right, Kevin. I am square with the government.
Where's he from?
Sweden.
Norway. Norway. He's from Norway.
He's a Norwegian.
He lives very close to Sweden. And Abe, who apparently failed geography because he was drinking Miller, calls him the Swede all the time. I'm like, the dude is from Norway.
There you go. Morton was supporting the
Okay.
Ukraine.
Well, I thought it was for the flag, but I was going by what Ape was calling him, I guess.
So, yep.
So it's red and black. So no, red, black,
Oh, okay.
red, white, and black.
I
So
don't
that
know.
wasn't it. I thought I had something there. Sorry. Just forget that I said anything.
Okay,
So-
it's forgotten.
What did he say? Was he saying something? I forgot.
Who?
Don says
What?
he doubts Texas and California cooperate with anybody.
Don, I don't believe that Alabama and Texas cooperate at that level either. And I'm cool with that. Totally cool. Plus, it was
Actually,
free shipping. So it
I
was
guess-
awesome.
I got some cool stuff coming up though. I got a vendor that is sending me a pretty cool product, and I was surprised they picked me. But
That they trusted you. Have you sold it on eBay yet? Like that last? Oh, I mean, nothing.
shh. No, this thing's it's going to be pretty cool. It's pretty legit. I've already knew of the company, and I've done a little more investigation. I knew of them, and now I've done a little more investigation. The part that they're sending me, they sold over 2 million of these products, so they're no
awesome.
joke.
That's awesome.
I don't know the actual numbers of each one, but they're no joke company.
So we have.
This will
ahead.
be more. I was just going to say this is more in my overlanding part of the channel, the adventure part. So it's pretty cool. And then I've got a part that
I'm
I
not an
actually purchased myself
overlander.
that goes with it.
You're
not.
an underlander?
I've noticed
Yeah.
people are trying to get into the overlanding scene right now on YouTube is like just huge, and I see guys are kind of converting over a little bit, maybe here and there.
Right.
Me also. I mean, but that was kind of the way mine started out, and then the pandemic hit. It
And you
just
know,
kinda stalled things for a
Tom,
while.
Tom the Dilettante is
Yeah,
a big time overlander.
and a ham. Him and
Yeah,
I are
and there's
supposed to meet up.
Awesome.
There's a lot of crossover between you people,
Mm-hmm.
you overlander
You
people,
people.
and the ham
Well,
people.
The
Well, I was
off-road-
categorizing by hobby,
The
right?
off-
overlanders.
Right.
Oh, I get
the
it.
off-road community has seen the light on ham radio for a very good use for that overlanding stuff, along with what's the other one, the GMRS stuff. I mean, that's
Mhm.
a easier,
Right.
maybe easier. The only
So
thing
I have a question for you. You just tossed the question up in the air for me, and I got to
okay,
ask:
okay.
why do you like GMRS for overlanding better than FRS or MERS or whatever MERS is called if they've changed the name? Why do I care? If it's just
Well,
me and a bunch of buddies who want to talk, why not
50
just use
watts.
FRS and not power
50 watts.
Repeaters.
What's a power?
Repeaters.
Repeaters. Yeah.
Repeaters.
If you're-
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a straight up
'Cause
good answer.
Repeaters.
Because like here, I mean, we have repeaters.
What did you say,
everywhere.
Tio?
Repeaters.
Oh, repeaters. Okay.
I don't. The only thing I don't do on the I have an app. I have a GMRS radio, just a couple of handhelds, and I'll probably carry those in the rig just because a lot of people are doing that. If I meet up with a group or something like that. I know Tom or the dilettante. He has his own. He has hams, so that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, Tom
Sorry,
has
just
both.
got a message. Huh? Yeah. He just bought a new rig, and I was looking at those rigs. It's a Lexus GX470.
Yeah.
That's some fancy.
The price on those things, they're starting to get expensive now because they're becoming popular. But they come with a V8, which is maybe Lexus is Toyota. It's like a 1,000,000-mile motor. It's like one of the best. I'd say one of the two best motors that Toyota's ever made that I know of, and that the other one's the 23 RE, which is the 4-cylinder, which I have on my 4Runner. Though I had one I sold had about 400,000 miles on it, and they just kept going, as long as you change the thermostat in them.
Yeah,
I
I had
like
a
driving on
400,000 mile
roads.
car back when BMW made good cars.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of cars, if you take care of them, they'll go that
The late
far.
90s.
But
Early
some
90s.
don't. Like, do you ever own a Chevette or drive a Chevette?
My mother did. I
Not
never
a great car.
did.
That
A
was
diesel.
back when
I had
That
a
was back-
Vega.
a diesel Chevette.
Diesel
No.
Chevette. Yeah.
Really,
Oh,
I
no.
never saw that one.
I had a Vega
Talk
that
about a million
burned
mile
more
car.
gas sitting at the stoplight than it burned when it actually moved.
Yeah, I used to go to a lot
The
of
aluminum
car
block
fires.
Vega.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
the Vega was such a nice. It was basically a shrunk down Camaro, right,
Yes.
with a 4-cylinder. But the biggest mistake they did was have aluminum cylinders.
Yeah.
The Chevy
It
really
was-
messed. They should have all had to do
It
was
was a
line
hot
those.
mess.
When you bought the rebuilds and you rebuilt one, because we did one for a buddy of mine had the GT wagon.
That would be fun.
And we rebuilt a motor for his, and the rebuilds had steel sleeves.
Yeah, I had a knucklehead friend when I was military.
Gremlin, yeah. Ugh.
Lived in the dorm with me, and he had a Vega that he put an 8-cylinder normal engine in.
Oh yeah, those are rockets.
Yes. And then so he said, "Hey man, I'm about to test this thing out. You want to go with me and go for a ride?" Yeah. Yes. Let me get in your car. This ought to be fun because it's a Vega with an 8-cylinder engine, and I was young and dumb and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had not actually. Apparently, he'd only tack welded the stuff in place and didn't have the motor mounts all the way installed.
Oh.
Hadn't finished building
Because-
it yet. Nice.
Right, things kind of started coming loose, and we had to abort that mission.
Right,
I was
right.
like, "You what, son? There's bolts for a reason."
Hey, the old small blocks used to break motor mounts that were mounted right.
Yeah, I don't remember all the details, and I'm not that much of a car guy, but yeah, he'd only tack welded stuff in place, the motor mounts, and I think if I remember right, one or two of the mounts broke loose. That may or may not have been because he was,
Right. Phil says the Pinto motors were better than the Vegas. Yeah, as long as you didn't get hit in the back and they blew up.
We had a Pinto. I had to go to high school in a Pinto.
The
I was
Vega was a way
traumatized as a
cooler
child.
vehicle.
Formula
The Pinto
Pinto was my
wagon.
favorite racing series for a while.
IMO, anyhow.
We had a Pinto wagon.
Where's
Nice.
Joe
Wagon.
Brett? Is he
Pinto
in
wagon.
here? Is he in the show yet?
Yeah, he's been in here. What did you want to know?
No.
Did you want
is
to ask
he-
him a
is he-
question or something?
Did he put his shirt on so we can have him on the show? I mean,
Oh,
Joe Brett's
yeah.
an interesting feller.
Come on, Joe Brett.
See,
Liberty
we need some people to
Cave, why
join
don't
the
you
show.
come
If you're
on?
on,
Yeah.
if you're on Toads, it's in the Coffee and Ham Radio's channel on the Toads Discord. There's a link to join the show. Put your clothes on, turn your camera
Turn
on,
your camera
please.
turn
on.
your microphone on, turn the stream off
some-
when you
your-
join.
Turn your lights
Throw-
on. Mute
Throw some
YouTube.
headsets. Yes.
I know. We ask a lot, but it's all for
So
the
let's
viewers.
talk about the YouTubers Hamfest.
Let's talk about the YouTubers Hamfest. Jim and I on Sunday morning, we're going to kind of go duo for the morning, and then right after we fill about a half an hour of nonsense recapping what's been going on and what all exciting is coming up. We're bringing Wayne.
Hey, there's a
on
plan
from
for what we
Elecraft.
can talk about. We can recap. That's exactly right.
I
So
told you this was the plan.
Wayne
never
is
listened to me,
super
Jim.
excited to join us
forgot.
again. Wayne's super excited to join us again. He had such a great time last time. He sent me a couple emails about it, and he has a bunch of new stuff to share. So you guys really make sure you watch that. Ton of stuff to. Oh,
Just
come on!
enough
I
light.
saw that
Just-
lightning in your
just enough
little
light.
video. Yeah,
Come on,
just a
Joe
little
Brett.
light. We expect a little bit of light, not a lot of light from you, Joe.
Are
Yeah,
you hating
Wayne's-
on us because you Coffee and Ham Radio big time or coffee? What is their thing? You
Clubhouse.
I'll get it in a minute. Ham
Clubhouse.
Radio Clubhouse. He's the big
Yeah.
time on Tuesday, and
There's
So Wayne has a
we
bunch
let
of
them-
stuff to announce. So you guys don't want to miss the Elecraft thing.
And last time he was on the show, he announced a new product. So
Oh yes, he did. And I got to go down and visit him someday. I find out the date he's actually and see if I can steal one of those for a.
I think we're going to have a lot of stuff. I've been looking at the schedule, which is still getting filled out. Like Steve
Yeah.
said, he and I are going to be on early on Sunday morning, right? Yeah. We'll have regular Coffee and Ham Radio on Saturday. The Elecraft guy is going to be on our show. We're working on another guest or two for our show for Saturday. And I'm not going to say who they are, but they're pretty awesome. He needs to make up his mind. Couldn't say that. He's not here right now, but anyway, so we're working on that. And then all the other ham tubers have all sorts of stuff lined up.
Yeah, there's
There's
a big
the
lineup.
there's the happy hour thing on Friday night, which is not really my jam. I may drop through. I may do a drive by and keep
I think
going.
that's what
But
well, actually, I'm going to be out of town, so unfortunately.
and then but there's
Well,
a
not
ton of
unfortunately.
content that's getting set up. A lot of POTUS stuff. There's some youth on the air
Yep.
stuff coming up. I know I saw Red Summit is in there, and he's doing a build or something. I think I don't remember all of it. Red's on there for a couple things. I was thinking,
Yeah, it's been a long time since I looked at the schedule, but he did have something.
but I mean, there's and I believe K6ARK is in there probably. Showing
Nope,
how
he's
to
out
make
this
an
year.
antenna that fits on the head of a pin and still
think he's-
transmits 1,000 watts
Yeah,
through the needle
maybe-
antenna.
through the needle antenna. His witchcraft. I mean,
know,
there's
and
going
I'm
to be a lot
I'm
of
not
stuff.
sure
I'm just
if,
kind of name dropping a little bit.
I'm not sure if Ape will allow me. I can't drop a little. I've got something that's going to come out that's going to be pretty cool in the Hamfest.
At the YouTubers Hamfest.
Yeah,
The smoke. I have it on good authority that the Smoke
Ape's
and
not
Ape
here.
will make a video appearance at the YouTubers Hamfest.
Chuck,
Oh, I was-
Ape's
I was-
not here. You can say whatever you want to say.
Well, let's just say there might be something new from Carr. That's all I'm going to say
Easier,
about it.
easier to get forgiveness than permission, Charles.
That's
Just
right,
saying.
and he's probably watching this later.
Hey,
All the
Hey,
way from North Sweden. Good morning, my friend.
I didn't expect to be on this fast.
Oh, we don't.
Are
mess
you not
around
ready?
Here.
Hang on.
Let me show you some.
You got
Let me show
you
you.
got a shirt on, so that's more than Joe Brett had.
I saw
you-
lights and shirt. I was good to go.
Let me show you what I picked up the other day.
Oh, that's
These
nice, Chuck.
These are or were in stock. I won't guarantee it, but from their site, not from DX Engineering. I don't think they had any in stock. I was actually surprised of the size. It's smaller than I thought. This will fit easily into a overhead bag. And watch it, Jim. I know what you're thinking.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't
know.
say a word.
I knew as soon as I said that. I had to look
How-
at you.
How far does that extend? How tall
It's a
is it?
6-meter pole, I think, is what they say. So 18 to 20 feet, something like. I haven't
So
haven't
good
measured
for
it.
a
I just
20-meter
got it.
vertical.
Oh, then I did one of my little donut things for
So
it.
that's just the collapsible
Nice.
pole, right? You'd still have to have an antenna of some sort to go with that. That's not an antenna
Oh,
kit.
it's
Like
just
a
it's
like a
just
car
pole,
antenna
yeah.
or LB0 FI
Yes.
dipole.
Yeah, it probably fit the LB0 FI dipole perfectly.
So
Yeah,
So
there you
tell me
go.
about this extra hole you got right here. What's this about?
That's to mount on top of a soda beams mast or another mast. And then the coax balances out the dipole legs, so it'll stay balanced on top.
Ah, okay.
Smart. Very smart.
Very clever.
Yeah,
Now,
and
is that the
it
green
actually
screen
works.
behind you, Morton?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
the green screen behind you?
It is.
Okay, because I thought you're jammed in there pretty good if that's your actual wall.
Yeah, it's a small shack though. It's
Right, oh,
it's
don't
not
worry.
big,
Mine
but
is much smaller than it looks. This is not the TARDIS here. It's much smaller on the inside.
yeah, it actually looks pretty big though, Jim.
Liberty says it's
Thank
out of
you.
stock already.
Oh, the pole?
So I see I see a Cisco phone up there. Morton, tell us about that.
That's the Ham Shack hotline phone. Still haven't. Well, I got one call on it. Not really sure if it works or not,
Jim,
but
give him a ring.
looks good.
Well, my
Give me a
phone
ring.
is behind the green screen. However, I happen to have the soft app
Let's see.
available, and I don't remember if I put I've put the phone numbers in the hard line, but I don't know if I put them in here.
So you got my number?
Throw it at me, Morton.
Let's see. It's 42, then 6 zeros, 145.
Oh, that's nice.
And I
Hang on,
guess
we'll try
pretty
that
much
again.
every
Four-
ham's gonna call me. 42.
420.
Then I think it's 5 zeros and then 145. I could find it, and yeah,
So Liberty's correct.
LB
They are out
Zero
of stock
speaking.
now.
Hey, good morning, brother. How are you?
Morning, Jim, or afternoon here.
Right.
Good.
Hang on a second. Let me put this on
Speakerphone.
speakerphone.
See if
There
it
we go.
works. Yeah. This
We're probably going to get all sorts of weird echo now, but
Yeah,
there
if
it
I put
goes.
mine on speaker as well, that's going to be weird.
All right, see if we can hear him coming through the.
This sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, and it's got this fancy 24 ringtone, so feels like you're on a TV show.
Right. I have the same ringtone on mine. I was going to add you can do custom ringtones, so I was going to get like, AC/DC or Leonard Skinner or something for a ringtone.
Bat out of
Yeah,
hell.
I just got to figure this thing out. But I'm going to hang up and get back on the screen. now,
Right. All right. Take care.
Three.
Bye-bye.
So we're going to do a show on the Ham Shack hotline on Monday Night Nuggets. If you would like to participate in the show, sign up today, and you might get your phone provisioned and extensionified by the show on Monday, and then you'll be able to call us. Jim already has his set up. Morton's going to be there to join us. There might be a special guest appearance by Joe Brett, and I have my phone, but it is not configured. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through configuring it with me live on the show, and then try and make some calls with it. And there's some DMR in there. Is that right, Jim?
You can, and I have not explored this. I was going to read up on it a little bit, and we can talk about it on the show Monday night. But theoretically, it will link in with All-Star, and it will link in with DMR, and that may be via All-Star. I'm not 100% sure about that.
Yeah, and
And
it's
I
also
have-
linked to Echo Link, I think.
Right? Yeah, that's right. And as I don't partake in All-Star or Echo Link, I think I have an Echo Link app on my phone. I don't know how to do that, so. I have an Echo Link app on my phone. I don't know how to do that, so.
Somebody's echoing.
Yeah.
I'm echoing.
Sorry. That's me.
That's Chuck.
Oh, that's Chuck.
Chuck-
Chuck, what are you doing?
Chuck
You're
watching
making me crazy.
Coffee and Ham radios on his
On
phone.
his phone.
And this is Plasma Storm has joined us. Plasma Storm from what is the from Whoville? He's Cindy Lou Who. What's going on top of your head, my friend?
That's actually the hanger for my headphones.
Ah, okay. How are you this morning, Plasma? Guess we don't need to know.
Okay. Hello.
He lost his voice there.
Chuck's back.
Yeah, I was trying to do something else. And
I'm doing
mistakenly
pretty
hit the
good.
wrong thing.
Oh, there he is.
Must be a
You gotta-
delay between here and Jacksonville or something. Bit of a
Probably.
lag. We can get to Norway much faster than we can get to Jacksonville.
You know what? Hey, Plasma, are you listening to the stream or are you listening to the?
No, I've got
the-
the stream paused.
Oh, okay. Because that would be a delay. if
Oh,
he's-
look at
if
the
he's-
TO trying something out here now.
Might also
Oh,
be
Lord.
I've got a couple of extra windows open.
Yeah, if you're listening to us on YouTube, there is a 5 or 8 second delay between what we're
No,
actually
I'm
doing it.
listening through StreamYard.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
There we go.
What are you doing, Steven? What is that?
Oh, this is the
showing how it
LB0FI
works.
dipole, and he mentioned that he had this extra ring. This is the DX Commander 10-meter expedition pole, the short pole, and so it goes down and it stops right at the junction right there, which is pretty nice. So it just kind of hangs there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's like we gave these little things out, I think, on our first antennas that I
Yep.
just printed these, and it does the same thing. It almost every pole fits the same section. It doesn't matter what pole it is, and that one will probably
Very
do the
cool.
same thing, except
I
for
think
the
most-
soda
Cool.
beams. It'll be a little ways down that carbon 6 though, unfortunately,
So the Carbon 6 is a lot smaller than this one.
and that's a small pole. That's like is that the small one, the expedition? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the same
Is that what
as
they're calling? What he's calling the soda pole now?
The POTA soda pole, yeah. And it
Yeah.
feels like it's heavier than his other 10-meter mast, but it's not. It's just more compact.
right. It's not as stiff though, I don't think.
Well, the top section here is pretty neat because the top section isn't hollow. There's a filled-in part. I don't know if it's solid the whole. Oh, it might be solid the whole way. And
Oh,
then
maybe it changed.
I got a tip for you.
Yeah,
That's off a fishing pole. Yeah.
Put a fishing pole tip on it,
literally.
and then you'll be able to hang an antenna right off the top of it.
So that pole is basically the same as a soda beams and a Pactena, except that it looks cooler.
Yeah, because it's got the DX Commander sticker on it.
And mine is setting up at a campground, I think, unfortunately. Which, if it wasn't dirt road, I'd be riding up on the bike. But I will make it back there to get it. Hopefully.
So Plasma's here. Plasma, drop a link to your channel in the chat because you are a moderator. You've been doing a fantastic job helping us out, keeping links and stuff going, and getting rid of all the riffraff that shows up during the stream.
And we do have some riff and occasionally the RAF as well. That's right.
Yeah.
That
Greg
must be
said
coming from Morton's house because I don't understand any of those words.
Yeah, the wife and my daughter, they're baking a little bit on the kitchen, which is right next door.
What are we baking?
Whoa.
Well, tell them we
Cake, I
said
think.
good afternoon, good evening. Well, you're going to
Yeah.
eat cake? Then, yeah, you need to
tomorrow.
encourage
Well,
that.
my daughter's
Yeah.
celebrating her birthday tomorrow, so hopefully
Oh,
there will be
Happy
cake.
Congratulations.
birthday.
Happy
happy
birthday. How old will she be?
She'll be 14 next week, but I'm going to work.
Bless your heart, son.
4 more years to go.
Yeah,
I got an 11-year-old. I feel your pain.
yeah. Well, girls are a lot more work than boys, though.
Amen. I don't have a
Yes.
son. I have a daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. And Steve couldn't stop at one. He has multiple awesome little female blessings.
Too many.
And there's nothing wrong
Ready to
with
go.
girls, ladies. Okay? There's nothing wrong with girls. But as a
The
dad,
best part,
it's
best
a
part of
lot of
having
stress on me.
5 daughters. Mother's Day when there's nobody in the house. It's very quiet here. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Oh, my Lord. If there's any ladies in the chat, we're not hating on women. I love my daughter. She's a great kid. But I got to
Just
worry about boys talking to her. But I'm going to show them my pew collection
Whoa.
and point out that I'm old and don't really care about prison
So
or
there's
anything
this-
else.
There's this saying about daughters, Jim. I'm sure you have it. With a son, you have to worry about one. With a daughter, you have to worry about all of them.
Right.
That's about
Yeah.
as PG-13 as I could make that one.
Right. Oh, yeah, I understand. hmm And you know, when I was a teenager, I know the things I was doing around other teenage girls, and I'm like, oh, I got to watch out for them little turds that look like me. Mhm.
So Plasma's
That's
got a
right.
link to his channel in the chat there. Plasma, what's going on your channel? What are you doing over there?
Actually, right now I am trying to edit the battery box build that I made, but
Battery
with
boxes
my
are awesome.
computer crashing, it's taking a little while.
Video editing
Yeah,
is
problem.
kind of painful on a good day.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't mind
Well-
doing the thing and recording the video, but man, oh man, I hate coming in here and doing video editing.
My hard drive was almost 14 years old, and it was about time for it to crash.
And it did.
Luckily,
14.
I have everything stored on a separate drive, so for my backup drive.
I'd say you got your money's worth out of that hard drive if it was freaking 14 years old.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was a
absolutely.
skinny
That's
one.
impressive.
Yeah, I bought
Morton,
that
I'm
back
getting
in
Sweden
2008.
on 15 meters FT8.
Oh, that's good. I got the Wisconsin on, I think it was on 15 meters earlier today.
Oh, I was lighting up 12 last night. Was great. I was getting a bunch of what was I getting? European stuff. I got Belarus, I think, and some Eastern European last night on 12.
Yeah, 12's been good lately.
That's right, Marvin. That's
s-
exactly right. I will just I'll have
17
one or
was
two
good.
out broken down on the bed. I'll pull the one out of my waistband and lay it in the drawer.
I was having luck on 17 the other day. Phone. I don't do a lot of FT8.
Yeah,
Oh,
17,
yes, you know, I've been doing
17 is
FT8.
one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
Now, are you doing phone or are you doing FT8?
Both.
Morton.
I'm
Both.
doing both.
Yeah.
I try to do more phone than FT8, but if the bands are slow, I'll do FT8.
I'll
OJ's
be honest. I'm kind of lazy about it a lot of times. I can sit here and multitask, right? I can do FT8 while I'm watching a video or editing a video or something else.
Yeah.
And talking on the radio is like, okay, let's close all the other distractions. Let's prepare the beverages for consumption. And then I have to talk to people, and I'm not really good at talking to people sometimes. 'cause
And
they
sometimes
talk.
you run into that N5 EVV guy on the air, and
That guy, sketchy.
No, you don't.
Well, and then he's, he's
Yeah,
got-
I usually
doesn't
I'll
have a
talk on
shirt on
contest days. That's Joe Brett. That's Mississippi. Jacksonville's a slightly higher standard, I guess.
YVY.
K5YBY. The only time I really talk on the radio a lot is like on
Then, of
on
course,
contest
there's the-
day. I'll cut it on so I can answer people's contest calls.
But contesting is easy, though, because there's a set exchange. You don't really have to talk to people.
That's exactly right. I don't have to go and worry about they're going to go into a long diatribe about their bunions or their gout or this one time in
just
band camp or whatever they're going to talk about.
Sometimes
That's
you meet
exactly right.
sometimes you meet nice people, though.
Well, I'm not saying they're not all nice. I'm just like, I can only talk about the weather so much, and then I got to move on.
Yeah.
Or talk about your radio.
Right.
Ooh,
Exactly
that-
right.
those are-
Let's be honest. This is a hobby where we talk about the hobby when we use the hobby.
this
Yes.
hobby is so meta.
My wife, when I got into ham radio, my wife asked me, "What do you guys talk about back there all the time?" I said, "Radios." Well,
You didn't
what
say
besides
you?
radios? Other radios, our wives, yeah,
Or
right.
wise.
I
Whether
spend most of my time talking about you, honey, because I love you so
The
much.
gout net, I like that one, Greg. That was great. The gout net. There'll be a minimum age requirement for that, like about mid 40s or so.
Holy cow. Are we doing that Pixie thing online?
are there any hams younger than mid 40s still, Jim?
I'm sure there's a few.
I mean, nobody on stream right now. No.
None of the median age on stream is well past 40. I'm going to guess.
Chuck's
Richard,
skewing that high.
When I
Chuck's
look
not
at the
skewing it that much
demographics-
higher than me.
Yeah. He's
Go ahead,
like
Martin.
my age.
When I look at the demographics on my YouTube channel, there's men age 45 and up, basically.
Yeah.
That would be all of us.
I think, and I don't know about everybody in the chat. I don't see Richard in here this morning. Richard up in Birmingham, here in Alabama. Richard's in his 30s, so he's a youngin, because he's all about that Echo Link and that All Star. But he's the only one I know of that's young, I think.
Gio,
And there's
what you
another
got there?
local guy here that emailed me the other day. I think he might be fairly young. I haven't
This
met
is that
him.
thing that Chuck's looking at. This is
I
the
didn't
Super
realize it
Pixie
was
kit
that
that we're going
small.
to do. This
I
is
didn't
supposed to be
realize it was so
Saturday's
small.
show. Well,
Yeah.
there's a reason they call it the Pixie.
I guess.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that small until I got it too.
I
I
just
mean,
opened it up actually, and it's like, holy.
That was actually
Ooh.
what I used to get back my soldering skills.
Even the resistors are tiny. Look at that.
Yeah,
That's my fingernail
Maybe.
for size reference.
that
Okay.
board's like what, 2x2?
Yeah,
It's
about that.
it's
Let me look.
small.
Yep, it's 2 and 1/8.
Hold it up to the camera, one of you.
I will. By 2.
Guys.
It's 2 1/8 by. It's pretty much 2 by 2.
Well, T.O., all we see on yours is stickers.
That's the case hiding the
Yeah.
That's the
surfboard.
case. This is the
I know
actual
that.
size
That's
of it
the
right here.
protective paper.
And big in Charles's window there, buddy. So we can
Charles.
see
You want to
that.
see it?
Charles in charge.
I think I'm supposed to do something on the instructions. So I was looking at the instructions, trying to make sense.
Oh
of
my
it.
lord, that is
small.
So there's my hand.
that is going to be a challenge to solder.
It
You're going
looks-
to have tweezers for that too.
Oh, the soldering part's easy. I just got some of those.
Oh, it's upside down.
Yeah, actually, the soldering wasn't that bad on it. It's
Well, I
just
mean, I don't know what y'all's.
reading-
Go ahead.
It's just reading the tiny print on it to figure out where things go.
Right. I will cheat, and I'll probably take a picture and blow it up on my screen, so I have a ginormous screen size picture of it. Now, I don't know how you guys do all that, but I usually go through and put each component in, and then bend the legs back just a little bit so they'll all
Yep.
stay in place,
That's exactly
Same.
how I did it.
and then flip the whole thing over and get on my soldering.
Yep. I put everything in place before I started soldering.
Did you? Okay.
Because like when I do woodwork and stuff, I like to dry fit everything before
Yeah,
I put
exactly.
the glue on.
Exactly.
So there
'Cause
has
once you
been some
put the glue
talk.
on, son,
There's been some talk about the crystals, and there's 2 different kits. One of the kits comes with a crystal in the extra portion of the band. As long as you have a dummy load, if you're not an extra, you can still play around with it. It's more about having fun building it. The other kit comes with 2 crystals, one in the extra and one in the general portion of the band. You can put a bunch of crystals in here, and there is also a VFO mod so that you can actually tune the frequency that you want. So it's a pretty agile
really?
little kit.
Does it have filtering and stuff?
No.
No.
So pretty much you could use it with any band then, right? I've got to put the instructions back before I lose those.
Oh, you have a special guest there, Morton.
Yeah.
there was a wee Wiccan that just went pie.
Yeah.
Norway's newest
My-
ham.
I wish I could kind of build some interest with my kids for the hobby, but I think it's a lost cause.
How old are they?
10 and 14.
Oh, it's not lost yet. You got
Yeah,
time.
you still got time.
I'm trying with mine, and she is highly resistant to the radio. She's like, "No, Dad, no. I'm
It's gonna
gonna
make
go."
it fun.
Have you
Wait.
ever had her watch Leah or Becca?
No,
No,
I
and
haven't.
I
I
need-
haven't.
I need to try. Yeah,
With the energy that those two have, I've actually gotten my niece interested in it.
Awesome.
we did the Santa Claus on the radio thing when she was younger. Now she's 11 and very worldly and knows that Santa Claus is a lie. So,
Hey, wait.
oh, Morton's kids may not speak English. Hopefully, they didn't hear me.
Well,
say
they,
that
they
out
do,
loud.
but
Of course,
I'm on
they do. They're
I'm on
European.
headphones now.
Okay.
But we can't let everybody else in the chat.
But
Right.
Well,
yeah, you
Plasma
gotta-
knew that there was no Santa. He doesn't know about the Easter
I knew
Bunny
there was
yet,
no
but
Santa when I was 6.
I apparently
I'm
have
just
broken
glad the
Joe
Tooth
Brett's
Fairy
heart.
still
though.
comes. I'm starting to lose teeth
Yeah,
again.
Joe Brett. Sorry, Joe. We try to rein
No,
him
Joe,
in, Joe.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Trying to get
just-
back on topic here, though. You got to remember that these kids grew up with the internet, and
Right.
by that, ham radio and shortwave listening isn't really that exciting anymore.
Right.
Right.
For me, it
Now,
was the
you
magic
used to
of
live in the States too, right?
yeah, in the mid '90s,
Okay.
and then I used
Okay. Oh, so-
I used a shortwave radio from Radio Shack to get news from home.
Nice.
Very good.
So that's
Nice,
kind of what
Rob.
spiked my interest.
Stick your head in and say, "Hey." No.
Rob
See?
says my daughter's 16 and wants to be licensed before summer ends.
Hello,
That's good.
I saw
young
a
one.
hand. I saw a very small hand.
Yeah, that was the spawn. That was Macy.
Hi, Macy.
She's long gone.
Oh, she's gone.
I muted you guys, and I told the Amazon device to do an announcement to come refill the coffee.
Oh.
She will do that. My wife will not do that.
Yeah.
Mrs. Perry's like, get your own coffee.
Yeah,
It ain't
Mrs.
gonna
Perry
happen much
says,
longer.
yeah, sorry about your luck. Go get it yourself.
That's right.
Well, my daughter, she doesn't know how to use the coffee maker, so there's no
What?
help there.
Oh, son, I taught mine. You need
Man.
5 scoops.
Good
Put
morning,
this
Larry.
in, that in, go boom, boom,
Hey,
bang.
Larry.
My next
My
goal,
mother taught
Morgan,
me how
is
to
to
make
teach her how to
coffee when
mow
I
the
was
grass.
6, and my dad taught me how to make tea when I was 5.
So
Yeah.
seriously, when you are trying to get young ones interested in ham radio, you have to make it fun. Do
Yeah.
not push the test at all. Just go out and have fun playing radio. Go have a fun day at the park.
Mhm.
Get some FRS radios and toss it to your kids when they go out camping and let them roam. If you try and make it all about studying, kids do enough studying today. Let them
Yeah.
use your call sign to get on the air. And then once they start racking up points under your call sign and start getting awards for you under your call sign, Dad, how can I get that on my own? How can I get my own award and not
Oh,
your
we'll worry
award?
about that later.
How
Yeah.
come
Is
my
Is that
name's
what you did
not
with
on
your
that?
girls?
Yep. Yep. Just made it fun. Parks on the air
I
is a
actually-
lot of fun. Contesting is a lot of fun.
I like the FRS idea. I hadn't even. I'm planning on taking the GMRS test here. I have to study, and I've been hanging around Ape too long, and I've apparently lost my GMRS knowledge.
He does kind of.
But the FRS idea is a good plan. That's a good plan because those
Yeah.
things are like in a blister pack for what, $20 at Walmart.
Yeah. And it also has to be fun and exciting to you. If you're complaining about the old farts on 80 meters complaining about their gout, well,
Oh.
then it doesn't sound like a fun hobby, does it?
That's right.
Like, I'm working Luxembourg right now. I got a +6 on Luxembourg. I don't know how that's happening. Like, that's a lot different than going, this old man complaining about his gout again.
Right.
Or the
Very true.
colonoscopy, or
I
And
just
some
want to say,
some old men in their gout send pictures in Discord and complain about it for 30 minutes about their toe.
I just want to say
rhymes
hello
with
to
Schmate.
Larry there. Larry from Ham Radio Live. He does Ham Radio Live. He does what show every day stream, and I
Almost
think it's
every day. Yeah.
almost
I
every
forget
day.
the time. I think it's 12 my time. He can put it in there, but he does a great show. Something different every day, and he brings different stuff into ham radio. Like I think yesterday we were watching commercials,
Yeah.
some pretty funny commercials. So
Now, Larry also
Usually it's
does
about
a solar
1900
report of
UTC.
1:00 Central Time. Okay. 2:00 Central Time right now because of the stupid time change.
Yeah.
Larry does like a solar report every day too, right? On all his
Yes.
shows.
yeah, he does.
Yes.
he
Yeah.
does.
Propagation.
Thanks, Liberty,
sunspots,
TMI.
Everything.
And you know, that's one thing that I have not paid a whole lot of attention to, even when I got my license. And since then, the time of what time bands are good, and I know 80 is like nighttime, 160 is magic unicorn land that I'm never going to have, and 40 is mostly at night, but not bad during the day. In the afternoon, 20 is daytime for business. And Ape did a really good video the other
Business
day
Yeah, he
that he
did.
put out this past week. That if you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend it because he explained that very well. And when I want to know some technical stuff, I watch some Ape video. When I'm doing antenna stuff, I watch some Chuck video. When I want to learn about the Zygu firmware release du jour, I check in with Steve. That's a compliment. I meant that as a compliment. The scoop.
40 is money. I think 20 is money. Really,
20 is my
personally.
favorite band. What's your favorite band, Plasma? What do you like?
ACDC.
Awesome. Morton, how about you?
I like
good
I
answer,
like
son.
20 because there's always something on 20.
Yeah, and
40 here in Region 1 is only 7 to 7.2 megahertz. So that's usually crowded, at least at night.
Ooh,
so you can't
yeah.
really find a clear spot. And then I like the higher bands when they're open. But the 20 is always my go-to band.
Now,
Yeah.
where you are in the northern part of Europe, what are you hitting most of the time on 20? East Coast U.S., Mid U.S., just Europe and East, or what? How does that?
In the mornings,
play out
it's
for you?
usually eastward towards Japan and Far East. Afternoons and evenings are North America. And
Okay.
then sometimes I cross the equator, but those events are rare. Yesterday I worked the Falkland Islands on FD4.
Oh,
Nice.
snap! That's a hump
Long
from
haul.
Norway.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's
I
like
mean, that's
other
over
side
half
of
the-
the world and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
think I got that when I was out
You just
camping in
went
the
over the
desert one
top.
time,
Short path.
and I didn't have a camera on or anything. I was just using a
There's
17-foot
no
whip.
such thing as short path from there to Falkland Islands.
Plasma gets the
It's
joke.
long path no matter which direction you go.
It's long or longer.
I
Right.
was processing that in my head, and I didn't really get it right away.
So we have my two bands. I pretty much 40 and 20. But in the mornings, if you get up here on the West Coast and listen on 40, just before it gets, not is it 40? Yeah, 40. Just before it gets real light, the guys with the big antennas, like the 4-element Yagis on 40, which are just, they're freaking huge. They like to kind of they're kind of bragging to a point. We're going a long path to South Africa, and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I can almost hear that guy. But every once in a while, I do have that 40-meter antenna that's half square, and that thing does do good for distance for not having like a Yagi. And every once in a while, I can hear the guys. But a lot of times, I on 20 I can do South Africa usually, but not usually 40.
And Larry's made a point that, and I've noticed this, that 20 is going super long into the evening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Earlier, just a few months ago, 20, as soon as the sun was anywhere close to the horizon here, 20 shut down.
Yep.
And
I've
and
seen
now
that,
I've seen during the FT8 off, even at 6:45 Central Time, 7 p.m. Central, when we start the FT8 off, 20 is still well viable.
So I've seen 20 go away when the sun goes away, and then it'll come back like an hour or two after sunset and go really long. I've been able to get like New Zealand and Japan and Australia on 20 after dark.
Yeah,
Okay.
New Zealand for me around
Yeah.
7:30 or 8 my time. There's a guy in New Zealand, and he's pretty cool. I think I've talked about him before. I forget his name, but if you're running an amp, he won't answer you. He wants to hear the guys with 100 watts because New Zealand's a good place to. That's a
Right.
good DX for most
Yeah.
people. So
Well,
he's
heck,
like,
everybody.
I don't want to hear any
everybody for him is
amplifiers.
DX.
Well, yeah, but he's like, I don't want to hear any amplifiers. I want people running 100 watts or less right now. So I turn my
I
amp
was
off
doing-
and I call him.
I got VK land last night on 12
Did you?
on
Nice.
FT8. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had several 12-meter FT8s from VK land. And I was excited about that because I don't have a lot of VK and VL in my log. So
All right.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, those are. I wouldn't say they're easy for us, but probably easier than you.
It's probably easier for you, though, Jock, from just having a Pacific in between you
Yeah.
and Australia.
Yeah, for short path.
Well-
Yeah, for sure.
And it depends on which worldview you believe in, the Mercator flat projection you saw in your fifth grade book or the globe. Which one is the truth? And that's all I'm going to say.
Or
Well, we can
Peters
say anything we
projection.
want. Ape's not here.
The Earth
The
is
world is
round,
round.
folks.
The world is
It's
round.
It really is round.
Yeah,
Ape's not
Ape's
here.
not
We-
here.
We think he's messing with you. We think. We're not 100% sure of that.
Right?
And he doesn't
Yeah, I'm
watch
not
this on
sh-
Team Replay.
Some days I think he's joking, and other days I'm not so sure.
That's right.
I'm with you on that one for sure.
Yeah, exactly right.
Today's
exactly
thumbnail was as
right.
close to flat Earth as I wanted to get.
Speaking of Abe,
Oh yeah,
You're-
got the ape.
Yeah,
Here
you're
in
here
spirit.
yeah,
That's right.
So,
And what
I
is
never
his story?
What I
What
had-
is his story today, T.O.?
He was not
Secret mission.
sharing.
secret mission
Really?
CIA
he's
thing.
in
I
the
think.
corner in timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I mean,
He's
being
in
in witness
timeout.
protection like that,
He has to
they
sit
do
on the
have
naughty
to.
step.
That's right. Apes in WITSEC, he had to go brief the marshals, and they had to
Yeah.
find out if he still had a job. And
I'll tell you what, when I went to Hawaii, my wife went down one day and she videoed me, and I've never put this video up yet, but I was running a 17-foot antenna. I might have had the impasse on, I don't remember. And I was on the beach, and the water was actually taking my radios and washing them up on the beach, so they weren't really surrounding like it should have. And I got into a VK contest, and it was pretty awesome because it was a pretty easy for most guys. One guy had, I've got S6 noise level here, and you're just right at it. So I was, pretty decent signal, I guess, 100 watts into That's not a real. That's actually probably about right distance wise for 20. But it was at night. I went down to the beach. I was like, well, I'm going to go down to the beach when maybe some people aren't there. And then, typical, I had a bunch of people. Oh, are you fishing? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my fishing pole. I just leave it on that stake over
Well,
there.
they do call them
I'm
boat
Navy. I'm
anchors.
talking to the subs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
actually ran. Sorry, Chuck.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually ran into a bunch of bird watchers on my last photo trip, and they were just happy to see someone that had just as nerdy hobby as they had.
Right.
It's bird watching, right?
Yeah,
I actually had a bunch of interest in people asking me what I was doing. They were truly interested. Some of them, but it was the bad thing is I wasn't prepared to go to the beach. I know better now. I need to get an actual recorder, a voice recorder that I can plug in line, because I had to run ear headsets because it was so noisy on the beach. And then there were still a lot of people because everybody came out for the sunset, right? And it's just beautiful sunsets there in Hawaii, but and over the ocean. But I will say that I probably should have ran more of a straight quarterway verticals than I did. I did a POTA while I was there with the impasse, and it just didn't. I know when to make contacts in California, but I don't really know when a good time in Hawaii is. I have to investigate that better. Just the difference it's like a 4 or 5 hour time change or something like that.
Yeah, that seems
They're kind of
right.
I think they're kind of in a weird time zone because being out there in an island and not having, like in the U.S., I can get 40 in most of the day, and I can get 20 most of the day, and I kind of know how far I can go. But there, I was having problems making content, and it could have just been bad, a bad day for radio too.
Mm-hmm.
It's never a
Now,
bad
how
day
did you-
for radio.
Any day, yeah, that's right. How did you deploy your radials when you were on the beach doing that? You just threw them in the water? You said the waves were washing your radials back in.
When the tide was coming in, and when I had them set out, they were just like at the edge of the water. And then by the end, my wife's like, all your stuff. I go, I don't care. She's like, it's all moving up, and she did a really good job. I do all my editing on Windows, and all that is on Apple
Macintosh.
iPhone stuff. Yeah, so it's kind of a pain. I have
you
to
know
send
you
it
can
to
copy
myself.
files over
You can now. I found out how to do that
with a
finally.
jump drive. They invented that like in 1994 or so.
Jim, you're the computer guy.
I love you, Chuck, man. I
I'm
just had to
not.
mess with you on that. You teed that up
Well,
for me.
I do a lot of, like, for my videos. A lot of times I'll do pictures off my iPhone, and I just email them to myself. It's the easiest. But sometimes it takes forever. So that was going to be
Chuck,
this was going to
Dropbox,
be my
Google Drive.
camera. Oh yeah, well I'm learning all that stuff, Jim. Now that I got you here to teach me.
Well, Steve and Ape can teach you this too. I mean, they
don't
never
listen to
talk
us.
to you.
He
I don't
never
listen to
listens,
guys.
Never.
Oh, that's totally BS.
I mean,
dude. You know that.
they're pretty smart. I mean,
No, they've helped me out a lot with that stuff. I just could
How
not
far he's
figure.
come.
I just cannot figure. Yeah, actually, you guys wouldn't believe me. A couple years ago, I couldn't figure out the timing for good bands over in Hawaii when I was there. I'm going to be a little more prepared next time. I did take 100 watts. Took my 857.
Well, I mean, it should be similar to what you have at your house, except just 4 or 5 hours later, right?
Like I said, it could have just been the bands were not very good when I was there.
Okay.
I didn't hear a lot on any band, to tell you the truth. So
I mean, I
that
wonder
was-
what was your noise floor like on.
when
in
I was
Hawaii?
out,
You were on.
you were
on the
beach,
main
nothing.
island, right?
It was nothing. Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
It was nothing. No real noise. Now at the place where I was staying, I did try to set up there, but every time I transmitted, I turned the solar off. So
Dwight asked an interesting question, and I really don't know. I can surmise. Big volcano events affect propagation. So, to the extent that anything they throw up in the air is going to have ferrous materials in it, yeah, it could affect propagation. Geothermal events are not, as far as I'm aware of, specifically radiomagnetic. But if the volcano eruption is big enough, like like the Yellowstone supervolcano when it kills us all, or Krakatoa or something like that, or even Mount St. Helens back in '81.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Or
would
that one
imagine if
in-
they,
80.
yeah, if they
I
throw
was
up enough
there.
garbage that that has ferrous materials in it, iron-based stuff like pyrite or magnetite or iron ore or any of that kind of stuff, metallic ore, then yeah, it's going to affect propagation to the extent of that cloud's going to cause reflections and stuff like that. I mean, basically, if it's a radar image, it's going to affect propagation. Rainstorm will affect propagation. Now, I'm not a weatherman or a volcanologist, so take all of that with a giant grain
Volcanologist?
of salt.
You make
That means
tires?
volcanoes. No, it
Oh,
means I'm not from this world.
okay.
Andy says
No, it means
yes.
somebody who studies volcanoes.
Andy says it can disrupt the bands.
Yeah, that
Probably
it would
can,
make
though.
sense that it could.
For the short answer.
My initial thought was, no, it won't affect it. But after hearing Jim here, it probably will.
Well,
Well, I mean,
Mount
it's gonna
St.
be-
Helens went, it was 5,000 feet blew off the top of the mountain. So I imagine that was a lot of interference.
Well, the ash cloud on any kind of major eruption, and I don't remember with Mount St. Helens.
Mount St. Helens, it circled the globe 3 times before it started coming down.
Yeah, the ash cloud is going to get up into the 20, 30, 40,000 feet. So it's
Yeah.
going to get caught by the high level wind currents. And so, yeah, that's going to affect propagation to some extent. And since you all have heard this on the internet, and I am a quasi important YouTube celebrity,
It
must be true.
Must
Has
be
to be.
true.
Has to be now.
And honestly, you know, I have Chuck and Steve and Morton here. He's from Norway, so that lends a whole lot of credence to the authority that I have. So yeah,
All that.
and
authority.
Plasma's not typing in the chat that he Googled that and found out that was complete BS. So
No, he's here. He can tell you in person.
Yeah, he's gonna tell
well,
you
there's
first.
that. There's that.
He was waiting for a chance, is all.
Actually, and see, Andy Cowley agreed with me too, and he's British. So man, oh man, the
It's gotta be
Europeans
true.
are on board with this. It's got to be some seriously true stuff.
It does make some sense when you say it, but then again, it's on the internet, so it might not be true.
Right? I don't. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I do
So-
know that with the volcanic eruptions, it also creates the earthquakes, which can have a geomagnetic effect.
Yeah, because that would disturb the Earth's magnetic field.
Right.
But I don't know how well that would change propagation. That gets pretty weird.
Well, it's something about low frequency radio waves or EMF waves or whatever the heck they call it.
Well, I mean, so
You know,
like,
prior to the earthquake, and then during the earthquake, it's amped up.
I don't know.
Nice. Definitely need to have
Out
an
of my
earthquake to
wheelhouse.
start experimenting with radio.
We need a volcanologist on this show, is what we need,
Actually-
and a tectonic plate specialist.
I think next time I'm gonna try to activate in a volcano.
Yes,
an old.
yes,
In-
Joe Brett. RF
An
is
old one.
magnetic electrical current thingies. He is correct.
Yeah, you can go in some of the ones that are not active.
So yeah, well, when we were in Hawaii, did you guys go up Diamond Head, Chuck?
I did not. I didn't have the time.
That is awesome. It's a hump. It was
Oh, yeah.
also
That's
5 years ago I was there, so-
soda. I think that's a soda, actually.
I would not be surprised. Well, yeah, it should be a SPOTA because I think it's a
Yeah.
national park too, right?
Spoda.
Yeah, I think it was both. Maybe
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah.
I looked it up. I'm going here in a few months, but it's a different island, so and I need to investigate it very well. I may have.
We
some
were
time to do
on-
some.
Oahu. I was working for the
Mhm.
G, and I was doing a gig for the Army at the hospital there
George.
in Honolulu.
Right.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna do some. See if there's anything
whatever
close
island that is.
to where we're staying this time. We're going to the more tropical island this time.
So
Yeah,
if you were going
we wanted to, we
soda,
just didn't have time.
So if you were going soda, Chuck, would you bring your 857 then, or would that be too heavy?
Well, when I went to Hawaii, that's all I had.
He's poking the bear.
If I tell you what, if I want 100 watts, that's the only radio I would take. I mean, it's A57.
It's a small 100 watter though.
It is
Yeah,
tiny.
it's one of the smaller. Like I think TO has the 706. It's a little bit light. It's like a pound lighter than that, I think, or close.
It's also
and smaller.
smaller.
The screen's not as big. People complain about that, but I think they made it for a reason because it is
Screen's
small.
even smaller here though.
Oh yeah,
No, which one is?
Nice
What is
radio.
that, Morton?
It's an 817.
yeah,
Okay.
Well, the screen on my G90 is pretty damn small.
yeah.
Yeah, but the screen on a G9 is really good though.
Yeah,
It's a color screen, and
if you can see it.
right. Well, son, you just need
OMIs.
better explaining glasses.
The,
Better
Holy
the
explaining
nice thing,
glasses.
the nice thing
I
on the
just saw it tomorrow.
A57. The nice thing on the A57, if I take a 2 meter or a 70 centimeter antenna, I have 50 and 30 watts. So quite of an improvement over taking an HT up on the hill.
Yeah,
I don't
And-
know if you were at Diamond Head that you could even take that stuff up, because the way to
Screens
get
are
up to the
killing
top
ham
of
radio.
Diamond Head is I don't
Oh,
believe they'll let you, but that's a hump.
I've hiked my A57 before, a couple miles.
No. I'm not doubting you, my friend. No.
I'm not
The
that I'm
path
that great
up to
at it.
Diamond Head. The path up to Diamond Head is not for the faint of heart, and they have signs up that said if you're old and chunky,
Yeah,
you really don't want to do this because we don't want to have to come rescue you.
that's the thing. California has like no humidity to speak of, right? So when I went to Hawaii, there was humidity because it rained every day, pretty much that we were there. At least part of the, off and on, nothing huge. And then it was
All the
then it was
time.
also warm. So I'm not used to. I mean, the weather was pretty close to our weather, maybe just a little warmer. But like you said, all their peaks are like this. They're not like this to go to the same height. They're pretty steep. It is a steep climb the whole way. But I mean, I could just take my time. I just said my wife is not crazy about me doing stuff like that by myself, and nobody really wanted to go with me. So the next trip I have though, I'm going to try and talk my son into it to see if he'll go up. And he's not interested in radio, but he might do the walk with me. Him and his wife maybe, or my daughter.
If you get the chance to go to Diamond Head, you really should. It's fabulous.
Yeah, we won't be there this time, but I do have some family members that I might entice at least. Hey, let's go on a hike. Here, carry this. This is a battery. That's what Javi and I do that all the time. We'll take we've taken the 891 when I had that. My buddy's 891. We've taken my 857, his 706, and one of us will carry the battery. One of us will carry the radio.
Yeah,
We did 3 miles
I
in
don't
the
have
snow.
friends like that.
Well, you
uphill.
don't go out and do that either, do you? You don't. I mean, you don't do post.
If it snows in Alabama, the state is closed. So
yeah, no,
Yeah.
the roads are closed, the schools are closed, the air is closed, everything is closed. Walmart, Waffle House is closed.
Javi still complains that he wanted to go back that day, and I went on because I thought he wanted to go on, and he went on because he thought I wanted to go. 6 miles in the snow was not fun. That's not my
No,
fun. At least
I had to
at
walk
least-
to school that way when I was growing up, Chuck. with no
Well,
shoes.
ours was it was up to my knees, and unfortunately, it wasn't solid enough to stay on top, and we didn't take snowshoes. We didn't know any better. We had the ice. I had the ice clamp on things though, but I didn't need those. And then I didn't even take my walking sticks, which was a mistake.
Uphill both ways. That is exactly right, Phil. I had to walk to school. My mother
Mm-hmm.
did not drive me. Growing up in northern Illinois,
That's right.
through 18 feet of snow, if I didn't get run over by a snowplow when I crossed the road,
Had to kill a bear with your trapper keeper.
You had snowplows?
right.
Trapper keeper.
Oh, yeah,
my trapper keeper.
you guys had
Okay,
snowplows?
someone just showed his age. Someone else just showed his age.
Your 80s is showing.
That's right. My 70s. You hillbillies, we had trapper keepers in the
Yeah,
70s.
70s.
I didn't know they were that old.
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
So
Remember
Marvin,
Peachies?
Kankakee, Illinois. Remember what, Plasma?
Peachies? Those
Mm-mm.
paper folders.
Oh, we didn't call them peaches.
I probably had them. I don't know.
That was
I
the
never.
brand name Mead Peachy.
Awesome.
Oh, I thought you
I
were
don't
talking
know.
about the little finger thing that you did
No.
counting with. You can
We
tell who
had
your
those.
boyfriend was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be.
That's right. Who does love me very much? If I ask this stupid question enough times and come up with the right number of words. Oh, she loves me.
I
Trapper
usually
keeper
just
is what the
pluck
rich kids had.
flowers.
That's right. They did. I did not have a trapper keeper because we were not the rich people. I had like some paper my mom dug out of a dumpster and wiped the coffee stains off of. That was used pencil nubs.
What was the name of the Domino's Pizza demon? That was the Noid.
The Noid, yeah.
Avoid the
Noid.
Noid.
Mhm.
And there was a CGA 4-color video game with Avoid the Noid in it. And
Yep.
the 4 colors were horrid. Cyan, white,
I'm so old. I remember when
Magenta
pizza
and black.
was it Domino? Domino's was 30 minutes or it's free.
Yep. 30 minutes or less, or it was free.
And so I was single when I was here when I moved to Alabama. I was living in the
You were
dorms
single,
before I
what a
married.
shock.
She could not be named.
Mhm.
Well, no, it was before I married plaintiff number 1, and I lived in the dorm. And where the Domino's was, I'd get home from work and I'd call them about 4:30 and order my pizza. And there was no way that they could make a pizza, get it in the delivery dude's car, and get out to the base because they had to go through the gate too. So that's going to take a second. And get my pizza there in 30 minutes. So guess who ate a lot of free pizza?
That's just wrong, man. That's just wrong.
Sticking it to the man. And they show up like, hey, your pizza's here. That's $22. No, I don't think so, brah. Look at that receipt time. Look at my watch. I'll take that. Thank you. You may go now.
You were living in Hawaii then? Bra?
No,
Bama.
bro.
What's up, bro?
That's right.
All
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen,
Fun.
you have reached the end of another fantastic Coffee and Ham Radios episode. Tomorrow we're going to talk about ham radio stuff, tools that you might be able to use in your shack. You probably have some of these already. We're going to compare our tools tomorrow on the show.
Oh. You mean
Yes.
that
We
in
got
that
more
letter?
excited already. We know
A bunch
exactly
of
where
guys
it's going to be.
comparing their tools.
I can't believe he said that.
I'm just talking about
Then
tools.
we
I don't
need
know
a
what you're
magnifying
thinking.
glass and a measuring tape.
Just for yours.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't expect that comeback at all from you, Plasma. I wasn't
Actually-
prepared one bit.
Yeah,
Right.
we are gonna, like T.O. said, tools and gadgets and G-Jaws and widgets and thingamajigs that
G-Jaws?
Gee,
I read it in a book somewhere. Or my grandma
It's
said
it's
it. I
a
don't
GIF
know.
too,
F20.
isn't it? A G-Jaw and
No,
a
it's a
GIF.
gift. It's a gift.
So then it's a
It's a
G-Jaw.
gift.
it's a
It's
gift.
a gift without the T.
There's 2 E's after the G in G-Jaw, so it's a soft G.
Right, soft G.
Just saying.
That's how they get you. Folks,
We're gonna have
see
a
you
lot of
tomorrow
fun.
morning.